Friday. It's early. We're doing it live. I had a moment where I was like, should I crack a beer? Because fighting is easier from outside the cage, but I wasn't prepared to go that much easier. Which means it's time for Verbal Tap, the show that proves it. I am your host, Kevin. With me, of course, Raph Esparza. Raph, how are you doing?
I'm okay. It is early. The noise that you hear is me opening up an energy bar for energy, because it's rare that you and I ever have to drink coffee to get ready for the show.
Can we do 2 minutes of what would have been early 2000s, late 90s radio on what an energy... I like to do an energy enema, Raph. Really gets me going in the morning. Just go right up the boop. Hey, happy shot of glory. Feels good, gets me going, and I think it puts me on that Gwyneth Paltrow health plan. Really excited about
it. I'm in a place where I'm going to be working all day. For those of you who don't know, I'll be behind the scenes at Subversiv. I had a lot of people ask me if I'm doing commentary on this one. I was asked to do something else for this one because we have two excellent commentators. We have Brandon McCatherine, friend of the show, and Robin Black, who is one of the most enthusiastic mixed martial arts practitioners and friends. So very excited for this production. But I am going to get a little bit of a vlog for Grappling Hour members, and I'll put that on the site for them. But yeah, there's a lot of really interesting things. Like, people are coming into town. You've got the Rod brothers, Nikki and Jay, who've been going out and around and training out here in Southern California, to the point where Nikki Rod takes the shirt off. They have a cup underneath, takes all of the water that he has worked out of that shirt, wrings it into the cup, and then his brother Jay sort of insinuates that he's going to drink out of it. And I said, I don't think I've been more grossed out by a single video in all of jiu-jitsu. Even the insinuation, didn't do it. Cup didn't hit the mouth. Nothing happened like that. It's just the suggestion. Similar to when people were going crazy when they saw Hitchcock films, where they go, oh, God, I didn't see anything get stabbed, but this is worse. Ugh. So, in case you need some terrifying internet content, most of you, I'm sure, have actually seen it, but still, blah, 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 blah.
All I can think is the Rod brothers are also the most likely to end up in a dude, where's my car situation, where they go to the event, and it's like, where's my car to, dude? Dude, where's your car? And we never see them again.
I'll tell you, as somebody in the production side, they better fucking not. We will find them.
Raph, I have so much confidence you'd be on the beat. You'd be filming it. You'd be on with somebody you got to go follow them. It's like, where are they headed? It's like, we just passed San Diego. It's like, what the are you headed to Legoland? Like, that would be pretty good for television wise. I'm just saying, if you had the budget, I think you could make that work.
Yeah, there's a lot that I am doing very quietly for these guys, so it'll be interesting.
Car chases might be one of them. You heard it here first. It's breaking news.
But I did send a note to Jay that's like, if you need anything, let me know. I'm not in charge of taking care of the talent in that way, but you guys are in my hood. I am always a Los Angeles ambassador, and I don't ever expect anything from that. But he sent me a note being like, "That's really nice, man. Thanks. Yeah, means a lot." And I was like, well, yes, but also show up on time or I'm going to kill you both. Everybody do what you're supposed to do. But 8 teams, Kevin, 3 versus 3 teams. It is going to be very fun. There's a whole bunch of super fights. I think I'm actually cornering one of my buddies, so I'll be walking out with him. And I think the story that goes here is Brady hit me up and says, hey, man, are you coming with me? Like, can you corner me? And I said, I did ask. I can get away for your match. Sure. And he goes, okay, well, if you weren't, it was going to depend on one big thing. I go, what's the one big thing? He goes, I was going to walk out to a pro wrestling theme song. And I said, so if I didn't join you, you wouldn't? He's like, no. I asked him which one. It's an epic song. And I was like, oh, that's a great choice. Yeah, I'm definitely in if it means you're going to do that. But I like that was part of the requirements for it. It was like him saying, Raph, if you don't corner me, I can't walk out to this. And I go, do you expect me to perform? I don't know. I'm going to be in a mood. like once these shows goes on, what am I supposed? I don't want to upstage you. It's your show.
He wants you to like dance behind him?
I mean, there is a whole thing when this dude
You know
walks
what?
out.
I need to approach this with a growth mindset, Raph. Here, I can help. Sometimes it's good even in production, Raph, just to dance it out for a minute. It'd be good for you. Get to pick the thing. He just walks out stoically, and you're just like really stealing the show, like the other way, right? Where it's like, what is that guy's fucking problem? That's what I think you should do.
What you're describing, though, is almost exactly what it's supposed to be. So this Asian wrestler by the name of Shinsuke Nakamura, he was amazing, has a very cool theme song. And when he walks out, he got paired with some dude who plays guitar. So the dude's kind of like guitaring it out. But the real scene stealer now is one of the commentators, Pat McAfee, is on commentary for SmackDown. Yes, the Pat McAfee of that.
What a
very
turn. He is just, Thanks, Aaron Rodgers, for the mom. Go ahead. Yeah.
But Pat, because he's doing commentary on the sides for SmackDown, whenever they play that song, he goes ballistic and dances on the table. And it is very compelling.
Sleeveless?
It is very funny. I think so. Mostly, I can't picture him with sleeves, but when he's doing it, it looks really funny. So again, when you have a friend that says, well, I wouldn't do this without you, I go, am I supposed to Pat McAfee? Is that what I'm supposed to do? Because I don't have a headset on. Okay. So anyway, very excited for that. That is going to be a lot of fun. I hope that you guys tune in. It's on Fight TV, so you got to pay for this one, but it's not on Flow Grappling. Nah? Is that a pitch? Does that work for you guys? I guess what I'm saying is you have a lot of really good talent. We're giving away a lot of money on this one, and I'm pretty excited.
And for those of you that are wondering, do I still have Fight Pass and what's the password? It's a great moment for you to dust that off. Try and see if you can figure it out.
Because nobody knows always where these things go on. They're just like, where am I supposed to? Why is this not on
Get
Flow
ready
Grappling?
for a code to need to be sent to your phone and you to be pissed off. That's what you need to be ready for. Once you do that, you can also approach it with a growth mindset. See Raph dance sleeveless. All you have to do is figure out if Fight TV still works for you.
Can I tell you? So Brady is one of the guys who went to me to one of the 2 AEW events last week. And, when he's telling me that, it's pretty funny. But come to find out, I had pretty good seats for both of those things, Kevin. And I was very excited. And I did do vlogs for both of them. And they're very fun. But I was in such good seats that 2 of the wrestlers who are a tag team known as the Young Bucks, they do a behind-the-scenes vlog themselves, and you can pretty clearly, blurrily see me in the background holding up my phone. I was like, oh, shit. And I had a fan send it to us going like, hey, man, I spotted you here.
I want to pitch another idea. Raph, how
Please.
many hot dogs do you think you could eat in a walkout?
Oh, no, I'm not doing
You're
that.
hungry. You haven't eaten. You're deep in. You're like, they see him walk out. They hear whatever the Nathan's hot dog theme is or the Oscar Mayer wiener. It's like, does that guy have a plate of hot dogs? And by the end of it, you've wolfed them down.
UFC 275 is stacked. That's right, everybody. Step into the octagon with DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of the UFC. Kev, I got to tell you, if you are somebody who has not bet on DraftKings before, all you have to do is bet $5. That's right, $5 on UFC 275 to get $150 in free bets instantly. Kev, talk to me about the fight matchups / what you're looking forward to / general thoughts on the card.
I'm going to main card you here, Raph. I'm taking Zhang minus 170. I just want to put some money on that. I want Teixeira at plus 165. Then I want to parlay those two with Shevchenko for plus 379. And they give you some pretty good fight props if you just pick the finish. But
sounds like some opportunities for bigger payouts and to double your winnings. Here's what you need to do. Number 1, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code VerbalTap. Throw down $5 on UFC 275 and get $150 in free bets instantly. That's right, the code VerbalTap this Saturday. DraftKings, the official sports betting partner of the UFC.
minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details.
Is this the time to air some other grievances? I know that we're kind of previewing fights for this weekend, but
we alone? It'll be us, someone from John Anik's crew, but probably not Anik.
I would tell you this, that, okay. So what are your thoughts on intermittent fasting, Kevin?
I've never understood it per se outside of hearing the fighters talk about it, but I do know I've also heard health and nutrition experts talk about something that's a version of this, right? Where, okay, if you can wake up and have your meals set here and you work on it, and it's kind of customizable in that regard, that is what I've heard about it. And obviously, Jiu-Jitsu Oprah, Tom DeBlass, spent, I don't know, every other post while trying to encourage law enforcement to take reasonable training classes, which I appreciate when they do that. Actually, he and Star-Lord, I love when jiu-jitsu people are like, hey, come train. You can train for free. You can train light, but please learn how to not murder people for free. That's cool. The other post he was like intermittent fasting, and it was mostly a reason I think he could post a picture of his abs. Is that what intermittent fasting does?
Kind of. So the person that I know that fasts is Milton. Milton is the owner of Milton Arguello's Mixed Martial Arts Academy.
Much better shape than me, which I think
yes,
is worth
so
noting.
it does work, sure, but there are days when I send Milton jokes that I get no response or a grumpy face.
Well, what's his... Okay, that's the other thing I've heard about intermittent fasting is people get... Well, any diet, right? You get prepared for the grumpies. What's his schedule, right? Because sometimes you hear people be like, well, I intermittent fast. I eat within an 8-hour time frame. It's like, okay.
Oh, well, do not worry.
And I hear other people be like, it's 11 to 2. It's like, what time? PM to AM. I have one big snack fast and then I'm out. It's like a Kramer diet.
The man does not eat till he gets home from all of his work.
Are you kidding?
At the academy and eats one meal a day. So I'm telling you, Kevin, he gets home at 8:30 ish. Let's say 8:30, 9:30, somewhere between there. And he has his one meal. The whole time he's living off of coffee, maybe somewhat fruits and berries. I don't even think he's eating that much. But I have been told that, yeah, he's done lunches a few times, but for the most part, he's not eating anything. And I have to tell you, this week in particular, I've been pretty go, to the point where I had to do a private. I come home and I'm about to race back to go teach a class. But when I come home, I haven't eaten anything since 7:30 in the morning. I did an interview with Ethan Krellenston. Yes, 7:30 in the morning. That was the time he wanted. I got up, had coffee, energy bar, similar to this, and did not eat until 4:30 p.m. And I have to tell you, Kevin, I don't think it works for me because I got home and I had probably 2.5 meals. I was so starving, and I thought, how does this fucking kid do this? How do you make it to 8:30, 9 o'clock, not having any food in your system? And I immediately came to this realization, it's not worth it. Nope. Skinny, not worth it. Really dumb. And I start bringing this up to other people, and they're like, oh, yeah, I've seen him do that. Yeah, it kind of works for him. And I go, it shouldn't. It sounds like a terrible plan. And they're like, well, he's a licensed nutritionist. And I was like, from who?
He went to the same Falwell Academy that they give out a lot of stuff. That's amazing to me. Just the sheer determination to be like, well, I'm going to go do a lot of fighting and training without food. Because Raph and we can, I think, unify on this. It's that thing called the grumpies. It just really infects. And then worse than that for me in the hunger category is the silence. When I'm reserved all of my energy for trying to feed my body as opposed to talking and helping with things. And that's when it's really dangerous. And I think I'd be there by class 1 or 2. So that would really be a tough one.
Well, I think this morning, this is rare too for the gym, but I think normally Milton takes a photo of whoever goes to class. And they do like a, hey, here's who was at 6 a.m. class.
Love it.
So you see that on your stories. And today I saw nobody in the photo. So he literally just took a photo of the wall and goes, "Great job, everybody." And I go, he's not wrong. Yeah, we should be yelling at the kids. How dare they not come train this morning? But I like that his passive-aggressive, angered mom version of shaming everybody is really coming through with the, oh, that's right, he doesn't eat. Yeah. Yeah.
You'd be surprised what a sausage egg McMuffin does to a break. You could really.
But here's the other thing. Somebody who in passing comes up to me and they go, "Well, Ref, it's probably once you do it once, your body probably just gets used to it." I go, "No, it should." And I go, "Listen, I get when people, they do their fast for whatever religious thing. That's their thing. But I do know that every once in a while you do it. To do it all throughout the week and then on Saturday, Sunday go, oh, I eat whatever I want. No, not worth it. I take my jiu-jitsu-ish. And here's the other. Okay, so we had 2 tweets this week that I think I need to discuss with you. The first was not super hurtful, but yesterday, one of my students saw me rolling with a friend of the show, Elliot, who I was putting in side control. And one of the kids remarked, when Coach Ref does jiu-jitsu, he kind of has a little muscle definition.
Ooh, that first sounds like a compliment. And then when you dig into it, you're like, wait, did you say a little?
Well, I'm glad you put it like that because the tweet says, no, I do not take that as a compliment. It would imply that I'm not jacked at all times. Thank you.
Ouch.
And I even said that to
I
them
have
out
muscle
loud.
definition in a suit, you youngster.
And I looked at my kid, and like this student, and I go, "No, dude, that's not a compliment. I know you think it is." And he goes, "It is, kinda." No, it is not. So that's one of the first tweets. The second tweet, Kevin, is this because the other night we had a switch in scheduling, and I'm not one to usually bring that stuff up, but I think I needed to explain myself. So here's the tweet. The initial plan was not to roll tonight. I had to leave immediately after teaching class to make it home in time to record a podcast with a guest. Toward the end of class, I got a text from the guest saying that they had to cancel this evening. Student, see you later, coach. Me, serious. No, we're rolling now. Student, oh no. Me, yep, sorry guy. Guest canceled. I'm taking it out on you. I apologize in advance. Student, okay. So because we had a cancellation this week, I took it upon myself to maybe go a little more aggressively on this poor student. He deserved it.
Someone deserved it. He'll deserve it later.
But you know how bad it is when I get people who are fans of our show who chime in by sending a note or a text that goes, "I'm sure he deserved it." Like, it was slightly enabling. And I did tell them, I was like, well, actually he does, so I'm not that worried about it. But I thought that one person even sent in a comment that was like, "You tyrant, sounds like a tyrant." And I go, isn't the whole purpose of a class at the end to roll? Like, what exactly am I doing other than just rolling a little bit harder? The whole point is they're supposed to roll. I just wasn't. But now, as a coach, don't you want to roll with coach? Dumb. These kids who are just throwing out definitions of things, it does look very silly and suspicious. I go, how much did you pay attention to what that word means?
I love that you're now taking to Twitter, especially with the students. We have to circle to a topic I originally was going to be upset about for a completely different reason. But now I'm not particularly, I guess, now I'm just status quo. Did you see the Molina Pride shorts kind of swirl? Okay. Yes. Well, my first problem was when I saw the Pride shorts. We can do better than that, right? Like, does that have that look? I was expecting the whole thing to be rainbow, right? You come out ready from hair to trunks, maybe even a cool like unicorn robe. I'm in, Raph. Like I've got the whole thing. So when he first posted it, I was like, okay, great. But those are barely showing. That could just be your color palette, right? And then he kind of gives a speech. He's in the presser. He's getting asked about it. And he talked about being pretty surprised and disappointed in some of the social media backlash, which was pretty homophobic and anti love, I guess, which we have a word for that. Was it hate? Anyway, really great to see that he wanted to wear pride. And I loved the Molina, like the explanation, right? Shocked, thought it's 2022. He's yes for gay Jesus, right? We're all in. And somehow this still gets good. And I bring it up because I immediately start looking at other articles and some responses. And of course, the MMA, I'm not going to say journalists, Raph, but commentators, podcasters alike, that whole crew start the swirl. And I hear one of the worst takes I've ever heard, which is, I really hate it when the media tends to focus on a few outliers, not the whole opinion. It's like, wait, this was a fighter explaining in his presser of his own accord, I didn't like the backlash I got. I was surprised by it. And he didn't say all my fans. He said a limited, he was like, there was a really surprising, like few percent is kind of the context. But again, the worst argument to these for me always are, let's not talk about it. Let's just ignore, even if it's internet. I loved that he addressed it, thought it was a moment where he could be proud, expand some things, and then just gets kind of that reverse. Why is he even bringing it up? Which is the most apathetic version of hate.
Can I tell you the new version of what I think?
But as as an out loud, out and proud person, I want more gayness out of my pride shorts. I'm going to say that right now.
Fair. Can I just bring this up, though? Because I think one thing that people are doing in terms of Pride Month is there's a lot of jokes now that go up corporations in June. So there's this idea that, ooh, capitalism pride. Let's shit on that, which fair to some degree. I do understand that. It's not great to see organizations go, you know what we should really do? Take advantage of this weird oppression and try to say we're great with gays. So yeah, using it for capitalism, yeah, I get that. That can be very awkward, and people don't always love it because it doesn't always seem sincere, especially when it's from companies that have gone with policies that are less than friendly to the gay community. What is interesting, though, is that it almost feels like a shield to just say I got some feelings on some gays. But, it's bad that corporations do that. And I go, which side are you on? I don't know where this is. It almost feels like people who don't like gays chiming in on this one. What I can say,
burn in hell with some of the lovely comments he got. Confused by why they clarified.
So the other thing to consider here is, okay, yeah, maybe some of you don't love when corporations pander. Okay, that's fine. I will tell you this. As someone who has seen a decade like the 80s, I can tell you from at least the ally standpoint, at least gays are treated much better now. And yeah, if you got to put up with some of this bullshit corporate nonsense when they just pander, it's still a lot better than where it used to be. So at the very least, we can denote the progress and maybe laugh at some of these corporations. Like, especially if you're going to see like a Chick-fil-A being like, it's gay month. You guys sorry yet? Or can we get over this? So you do recognize like, yeah, some of these don't fit perfectly. But yeah, Kev, the one that I look over, and again, bless their heart for writing this headline. Mixed martial artist going, oh, that's adorable. He thought it wasn't going to be a problem as a headline. And bless his sweetheart. And To be fair,
and he
it was
did
done
not.
sincerely.
He
I
was very
know.
clear. He was like, people don't like you sometimes if you support anything a little gay. It's like, yeah, we've been talking about this for a while, but to Rav's point, maybe some people missed it, and we haven't been like reinforcing it as much over the last 10 years. We're having some other conversations, but yeah.
Yeah, listen.
People used to protest soldiers' funerals on
Yeah.
the abstract chance they were protecting a country that was too supportive of gay people. At that time, gay marriage was illegal. We're a real lovely bunch. We got a lot of I will say, if you get a chance, also Jeff Molina went and talked to Ariel Hawani and kind of articulated some of this, but you'll also see exactly what Rav's talking about, which is I shouldn't get applauded for saying this is right. So you should be applauded. You should be. You took a platform, you took a moment, and you called out some BS. You deserve the credit. And you can tell he's just like, I mean, murder's wrong, right? What's the big deal? It's like, yeah, but we have to reinforce it because right now we're in a place where people aren't abiding by that. But I'm done, Raph. And I'll be redesigning some Pride shorts for the UFC and submitting them. We'll see what they think about that.
Listen, and if there's any group that's kind of pandering, have you seen the photo of Dana White wearing the Pride shirt?
I have not, but if you could please find that while we start covering the fights coming up.
Yeah.
Because we are live. We're going to release this thing seconds after we get done recording here, Raph. And I am looking at some of the lines, and I am looking at some of these fights. And I will tell you right up, I'm excited about the main card that goes off at, I think, like, the prelims, ESPN Plus, 4:30 p.m., main card, 8 p.m. Never mind, normal time. We've got Zhang versus Jedrzejczyk. I love Zhang. Somehow, this is the first time I think I remember Joanna not being favored in a while, that in a fight she wasn't fighting Rose Namajunas. Shevchenko's minus 625, Raph. Is there any way on the planet Shevchenko loses?
I know better than to answer that question.
Just anyway,
there's always a chance. But Shevchenko, listen, dude.
Is it possible she's just bored and they got to her and they're like, you got to take a dive on this one so we can get your boxing career going? Or no, like that wouldn't make sense either, right? She has a gun tattoo. She's like, fuck off.
She should just win. Yes, outright. But I feel like every time we load that gun, it's kind of like, hey, Amanda Nunes, goat of all time, never gonna. Oh, Juliana Pena, I did. Okay. And even to the point when we did the over under for that, I just said, is there any way? I mean, I'm just playing devil's advocate, and both you and the guests were like, no, next, move on. Then the next week, well, shit. I would say things look very promising.
That's kind of why I'm asking. I got my DraftKings app open here. I'm waiting for you to whisper to me the next 8-1 upset, Raph, so I can pay for some college around here.
That's fair.
Mine, not even my son. He'll deal with his own.
Is there still going to be college by the time he's old?
That's fair. It's all just going to be an online video. Can I tell you the funniest? This brought to you at this moment in corporate America. Sending a 2-hour. We're all going to take a writing course, which I love, right? And I was like, "What's the course? Is there application?" They're like, what? I was like, "Well, if it's a writing course, you must be better writers. I presume we have to write something, right?" They're like, I haven't looked into it. I was like, "You're just going to have me watch a video on how to be a better writer?" I love you all so much. Anyway, back to you, Raph. I'm actually, this is how I learned heel hooks. I just watched the video. I got it. Shevchenko. This is my other point about this fight. Sorry, I'm getting sidetracked on my moments. Shevchenko should be the headliner of this fight. She switched those top two, switched to top three. I don't know, but I guess Teixeira is a title fight. We'll get to that line in that fight in a second. Shevchenko is the most dominant and biggest name on this card, I believe. I don't think it's close. I don't quite understand some of the times the UFC does this, but I am going to criticize them when they don't put the best fight in the top spot. That's the best fight. Maybe they don't believe there's enough back and forth for it, but that's their fault, not Shevchenko's. Put Shevchenko in the money-making spot. She's a minus 625 favorite. She has been dominant. Now I'm done.
Do you think it's partially because they want to see how far that Glover Teixeira thing goes? Because they go, is he gonna be champion for a while or no?
He's not favored. This is weird. He is plus 170. Here he every time I'm like Proshaka. Nope, that's not it. You're Piri Proshaka Asuka. Anyway, minus 200. Heavily favored. 2-1.
Yep.
It's pretty nuts. That one I'm gonna put some Teixeira money, Ralph. I'm gonna stay on the We Believe train. And
Okay.
this one I get to also add the benefit of what would piss Dana off the most. And I don't know why, but this seems like it would do it. If Teixeira wins and he can't figure it out, that's the best. When he's like, how's this fucking guy still a champion? Where is John Jones? Right? This is it, because I don't know, maybe Yuri's ready, but I was shocked to see the minus 200. That's my value pick.
It's not a terrible idea. The hard part with me with Glover Teixeira is, and people who get old know this, do you ever have a moment when you're playing a sport or doing something past the age of 30 and you think to yourself, how long can this go on for? Children, if you're younger than this, you probably aren't listening to the show, by the way. I know our demo pretty well. But if you do happen to listen to this, there's something weird that happens after the age of 30. And as someone rapidly approaching the age of 40, I can tell you it does seem to get louder and louder, especially after I have these very long sessions where I'm training and I go, this is good. How long can I do this for? And then I can only think at my level, okay, that's really not that big of stress. But if you're 40 and you're Glover Teixeira, you think, dude, I'm fighting this dude who has like an antenna on his fucking head. He might try to kill me, and I don't know that that's going to work.
I do like his hair. Actually, Yuri's satellite works.
The satellite is a great joke, by the way.
29.
A+.
29. So definitely younger.
Yep. We've established that. Very good tail of the tape.
That's the analytics department around here just crushes every time. Every time. Oh, man. Sorry. That makes me funny. Glover, for reference, is 42. Born October 28th. Great birthday. The rest of the card, Raph, there's some call-outs here. Let's get to we've got Molina versus Ramazin Ameev. One of the hardest per capita name per name. There's a fighter on here, Mahishit, spelled exactly the same. I think we should do that more here. Kevin, right? I might change that. I might steal that a little bit. Kyung Ho Kang, coolest name alert on the card. Jocelyn Edwards is fighting. Raph, I will be probably buying this fight.
Seriously?
I know. We'll see.
That's still the worst form. Like, you're the person when they do the analytic research, they go, strongly likely, unlikely, very likely to order this fight. I don't know.
No, I'm not there yet.
Can you call me again Saturday at like 10 minutes before the pay-per-view?
You know what I was trying to do before this? It was get a little bit into the Road to UFC episodes. And I was like, okay, well, I'll go click on them, see what's going on. Maybe they're on Plus, but from the fight card this morning, I couldn't really find them. So it was like ESPN doing a bang-up job keeping this just a little hidden.
So did you see any part of that? Is that the Road to UFC that they called that? Those events that they were doing for that tournament?
Yes, which I have not seen any yet. Based off of, but that's what I was trying to look at this morning. I was trying to find it. There
was one very yikes knockout that I saw that I thought, man, that's really impressive. But also,
I got to get back over to Fight Pass. That's right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's why I can't find.
You like a silly bitch. We're looking at your ESPN Plus, weren't you?
Yes, I was. Now I'm woo-sawing. Another popular breath technique of trying to calm down my anger. Because you know what's going to happen, Raph? I'm going to get hooked on this. I'm going to find myself on that path. I'm going to be watching it. I'm going to be like, hey, you know what? UFC Fight Pass, not so bad. Maybe I could check out Raph's thing, watch him dance, eat some hot dogs, maybe do that unicycle
Fight TV,
thing.
God damn it.
Fight TV, shit, sorry. So I can't even double match them. And then it's going to be a few before I click back to ESPN. They're going to be like, well, you haven't logged into ESPN Plus because, you don't. So it's going to be a nightmare, and I'm going to get mad at my TV.
To be fair, I also will not be watching, to the best of my knowledge, because
you're going to be busy on a unicycle riding around your fighter that you're cornering.
The thought of that actually made it worth it. Now that you're kind of mentioning it, I'm like, I don't know. The way that Kevin puts it, not that bad. Oh, hey, I got a reminder right now. The reminder is that my previously locked episode with Gary Tonin on Grappling Hour is now premiering. So, as you guys know, if you are a Grappling Hour member, you get to see these interviews 30 days before everybody else. Well, today, one of the very first things we put behind a paywall is premiering on our YouTube page at Grappling Hour. So if you want to watch that, check that out. It is very, very funny. It does give some good insight into what Gary was going through when he lost at one in MMA, his response to Ryan Hall. Because it was filmed a month ago, there's also talk about how he thought the match with Ruotolo was going to go, which now that you're in the future, you know differently. But he didn't speak ill of the kid. He just said he wanted to late-term abort the kid. And I had to inform him politely. That's not how late-term abortions work. That's just murder. So,
that'll be helpful for a lot of his followers to understand the difference. Maybe some framing of some arguments. Go check.
Exactly what I was thinking when I said it out loud. As I was like, this is fairly well. Oh, he does have dumb fans. Yeah, this might be important. Okay, let's venture that way. It was just so. Oh, there it is.
Hey, well, look, go check it out. Subscribe, because I have found myself being like, I haven't really seen Gary have a good conversation. Want to miss it? So head on over to the Grappling Hour. Subscribe. Get in on the best content in the business. And, Raf's not making you go to 8 different websites just to follow him or getting in fights with UFC bosses. So let's give him some reward out there. That'll do it for us tonight, Raf, or this morning. I'm Kevin. Thanks for listening.
Good night. Good fight.
The number you have dialed has been changed. The new number is... Please note, the new number is...